is a wine expedition first. We're about to have a tasting here in a fairy ring. Craig, you're probably one of the only winemakers that could say that you conduct tastings in a fairy ring. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel fairly good. You know, it's a magical place, and we believe we create some magical wines.
Do you ever get any hobbits in here?
I believe so, but I think only my grandchildren can see them.
Well, that's the way it works. And we talked again about the fact that this fairy ring was created when the mother tree, which you said the stump is right over there,
right here,
was destroyed in a fire by lightning or whatever. And these were the children trees, baby trees. And now I see all this sort of ground cover here. And Cathy said this is basically the precursor to that. This is like little baby trees sitting there.
That's right.
And you probably have to trim these pretty regularly, or else you...
About 3 times a year.
Fantastic. It's not like you have enough to do with the grapes and stuff and birds and nets and things. So I see a lot of bottles of wine here. Now, Craig, you told me that you name all your wines after your grandchildren.
Correct. Many years ago, when we had our dream to create the winery, our last name, Handley, was already taken by Milla Handley up in Anderson Valley.
Right.
And she's a very accomplished winemaker. So we thought about it and thought, well, we had 2 beautiful grandchildren. We had 2 varietals on our property. And so we decided to name them after Brittany Morgan for the Chardonnay and Dylan David for our Pinot Noir.
And we have those here.
This is the Brittany Morgan, and the Dylan David has a guitar in it. So there's an angel and a guitar on those 2 labels.
And where does the artwork come from?
I created the artwork and tried to pick something that either the children loved or fit part of their family. So every label is different.
So you created the artwork.
Correct.
You planted the vines. You net the vines. You guys have any spare time?
Yeah, we drink a little bit of wine now and then.
God bless you. I think that's a good idea. Let's drink a little wine. Should we try some of the Chardonnay?
Very definitely. This is a 2006 late harvest Chardonnay, which is
Thank you.
not something we can accomplish every year. We have to have the proper climate and have to have a very mild year to let the grapes extend the additional 3 to 4 weeks.
So you don't do this every year?
No.
And what year is this?
2006.
2006 was a year that the weather allowed for you to keep the grapes in the vine just a little bit longer.
Correct.
And is it a sweeter wine, or is it?
Well, actually, there is a small amount of residual sugar in it, but there's a lot more in the bouquet. There's a lot more intensity in the fruit. You're getting apricots and peach.
How much longer on the vine?
This particular year was 4 years longer
4
than
weeks.
4 weeks. 4 weeks longer than normal.
4 years would be a long time.
It would.
That would be a sweet one. Okay, so this is the all grown here on the property
Correct.
and named after your oldest grandchild.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was impatient. I just went right in. Yeah, there's definitely a lot, very floral nose. Just maybe a little bit of honey, a little sweet. It just wow, that's a beautiful wine. Very elegant.
Thank you.
It's not. Am I tasting any oak? I almost feel like if there's any oak, it's just a kiss of oak. It's not a lot.
Well, this actually was in oak for 12 months.
Really?
It was in a 1-year-old French barrel, center of France.
So did I have too much wine last night? Am I missing it? Because I'm not getting a lot of oak. Or
Well,
the fruit is so powerful, maybe that I don't know.
There's one other thing that I do with the wine. It is in French oak for 1 year, then it's in a small stainless barrel for another 12 months, and then bottled.
And that mutes the oak.
It tends to mellow out the wine. It's like aging in a large bottle.
Wow. Yeah, you know, a lot of California Chardonnays are either very buttery or very oaky or very, you know, they're sort of, you can't ignore them. They're big Chardonnays in a way, and this is almost, I don't want to say Burgundian, but it's definitely very sort of elegant and mellow. Would that be accurate?
I would agree with that. We're very blessed. The Santa Cruz Mountains has a good deal of acidity in the soil, which is transferred back into the grapes.
Okay.
So you're able to get a well-balanced wine. A lot of areas are too hot and don't have that ability to pull the acid out.
Right. Well, that's a fantastic wine. Now, what does this retail for?
This retails for $40, and it's primarily sold here just at the winery.
Yeah, you were saying, I mean, what's your case production here?
On this particular wine, we produce about 125 to 150 cases a year.
And through your wine club and the Corliss Wine Show brings a lot of people here. You don't I mean, is it even available in stores, or can I buy it online from your website?
Actually, you need to call us. We have made our website live for taking purchases, but we have many people who call. Our wine club members get their allotments. And we do have it in a few stores, but Corlitas Market is one.
Fair enough.
As our neighboring partner of ours. And we also have it in the Summit store, which is also in the wine country up in the top of the mountains.
Fantastic.
And then into some very good restaurants.
Should we try the Pinot?
Now, this is Dylan David. The guitar on his label is because that was his passion at the time that I released the wine.
Is it not his passion anymore?
Well, he's set it down for a year or so. He's now in college, and he promises me he'll take it back up. We have a number of musicians in the family. Unfortunately, I can't play anything, but I can enjoy what the others do.
Well, and you can make wine, and I don't know, if I was your grandson, I'd be happy with that. I'd let you off with that. So this is, look at the label again. I don't know if you're seeing this, but and you designed this label also.
I did.
I mean, when I first went to your website, I was drawn to the label, so I was like, okay, what's the story here? Now, and then and once again, this is estate wine, so it's all grown on the outskirts of the fairy ring here.
Correct, it is, and these are Dijon clones, 113, 14, and 15, which balance extremely well.
Now, you were saying earlier the Dijon clones tend to have very small berries.
Small berries, small clusters, which allows for good tannin structure.
But you're probably not getting,
Yields are very low, but the quality is extremely high.
And how many cases of this do you produce a year?
50 to 75.
Wow, okay. And again, wine club members, on the website you have to call to see if there's any left.
If there's any left, yeah. Basically, in some years when we're down to the 50 case area, wine club members get all the wine.
So you don't ever have a problem of, hey, we've got this leftover wine. Maybe we should call the guys at Wine Expedition and see if they need any. You don't have that problem at all?
Well, actually, we've had a lot of inquiries about
I'm just saying.
having more wine, so that we have gone out and started purchasing wines from neighbor vineyards, 2 miles up the street, the Lester Vineyards.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're producing 300 cases of Pinot Noir from Dijon clones in their vineyard.
And that's a separate bottling. That's a
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, let's try this.
And it has a red label. Red guitar.
Is it here? Oh no.
No, it's not.
Is it also called the Dylan David?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's the Red Guitar Lester Vineyard?
Right.
Fair enough.
It's a Les Paul guitar.
You hear that? Les Paul guitar. There's a lot going on here. It's not just, there's more than meets the eye. It's a nice Santa Cruz Mountain Pinot. It sounds goofy when I say this, but I feel this way about Sonoma Coast Pinots as well, that I almost feel like the woods, I can smell the woods in the nose, you know what I mean? There's like a foggy, cool sort of redwood thing happening there.
I think that's an excellent way to present those wines.
Did you hear that? Excellent. I just got a thumbs up on my description of noses. I'm also getting sort of spiciness as well.
Yes, you are.
Again, a very elegant wine. I mean,
This wine will stand up to its time, too. Easily will age 10 years.
Mhm.
We opened this bottle just minutes ago.
right.
And if you would let it sit another day, you'd be surprised. It actually grows with intensity.
I believe it. I have to tip my hat to you as a winemaker. Both of these wines, you drink a glass of Pinot and sometimes, tasting, rhubarb, or I'm tasting blackberries, whatever. The first thing I get is just sort of a mouthfeel and just a very an elegance. So, again, impressive. But what's the retail on this?
This retails at $85.
Okay. I believe it. Truly a special bottle of wine. You wouldn't open this any day of the week. This is fantastic. Thank you so much for having us. This has been a wonderful experience tasting in a fairy ring. I don't know when the next time I'll be tasting in a fairy ring is, but I'll be sure to let you know. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Neil.
Fantastic wines.
Please come again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Neil from Wine Expedition, out.